How do you maintain physical condition during a grueling tour schedule?
Oh man. Well, thankfully for modern pro wrestling, the grueling tour schedule doesn't exist anymore. And some of these young talent, when we talk about how the schedule was, I would say my busiest day when I was with WWE was 270 something days on the road. I think. Um, I remember, and I'm sure I've talked about this before, but overseas tours, where we do 10 cities in 10 days with a flight every day. Now, when you get to do those on the bus, it's a lot more, it's easier, but, going through the airport, and I've covered all that, but um, in that, some days, some people have to make the choice. Do I want to go hit the gym, get this workout in, or do I want to just rest? And, sometimes you need that rest more than you need the workout. Other times you got guys that are just super disciplined, men and women that are just super disciplined. And they'll find that window if it's at the hotel gym where they get up and push through the fatigue and eat and then go to the gym and then get their shit and then go hit the bus. A lot of talent will get a workout in at the building. Some people have their rubber bands or
Okay.
you know
And in some of these stadiums or arenas, like when I was with you with All In, we went into the Rangers, I guess that's the locker room,
yeah.
and the amount of equipment that was in
Oh
there, I
yeah.
was
Well,
blown
yeah.
away.
Some of the arenas will have gyms that they'll allow us to use. Oftentimes they keep that stuff locked up. They don't want people to have access to it.
Okay.
And I think it's more of a liability thing than anything else. But yeah, some people will use the facilities at the arena if it's possible. Some people you'll see them doing, like I used to do back in the day, the Hindu squats and
Yeah.
run the stairs and uh, burpees and things like that. Um, Now, if I'm going to be honest, me, I was usually up drinking the night before. So getting to the gym, like, yeah, I'll do that next week. I'm going to get this sleep right now. And it showed because I would always laugh about, the Power Ranger suit. People would say to me, some of the boys are, oh no, man, if you're lucky because you got that suit, it covers you up. I'm like, no, it clings. So when I'm fat and looking like a chewed up piece of bubble
You
gum, it
feel?
accentuates my rolls. Come out there looking like the Michelin Man, thinking I'm all, And then I'll be like, damn dog, you gotta tighten that up, man. It's getting away from you, man. It's getting away from you. So, um, but yeah, and it's crazy because through the years, man, I would see certain people that come hell or high water, they were in the gym. It was just part of who they were, part of their identity. Doesn't matter how tired they were gonna find time to go to that gym.
Bobby comes to mind.
Bobby's an anomaly because if Bobby's tired, he works out. If Bobby's bored, he works out. If Bobby's hungry, he works out. Bobby, Bobby's muscles got muscles, so they need to work out. Like he's just the gym is his place, man. And while I was never as obsessed with training as Bobby is, I remember there was a time early on in my career where I worked out so often in my mind, I kind of set myself up to where if I didn't work out, I didn't feel right. I
Okay.
felt a little not ill, but I definitely felt like, man, I work out today, man. And now I feel that way when I do work out. Like, man, I worked out today, man. I need some bourbon in the joint to feel better. Um, but the schedule isn't nearly as grueling as it used to be. Um, and shout out to James Maritato, Lil Guido. I remember he taught me something when I first got called up. He was saying that because sometimes on the road you don't have time to work out, when you're off the road, you need to work out every day. And I was like, yeah, oh, yeah, okay, yeah,
Make up for.
yeah, that makes sense. Because when you're home, you control your schedule.
Right.
So you can run your errands and do your laundry and do whatever you do, but you can get your workout. So, those 2 or 3 days off, make sure you get your workouts in because when you are on the road, you might have a schedule that precludes you from going to the gym. And now we're talking about, as I love to discuss, the evolution of how things have changed. You know, before I came into the business, guys used to ride around with a road atlas. There was no GPS. There was no internet. There was no, and I would hear the OGs, my OGs, talk about, just getting to the town and then going to a gas station and then asking, hey, you know where they're having wrestling at? Around? Oh, yeah, they have wrestling over yonder at such and such building. You just take this. By the time I came along when I got called up, it was really weird because it was on the cusp of this new technology entering the fray. And because initially I traveled with a road atlas at first. My youngest brother Justin, he was in college at the time. Now he's Dean Rose. Put some respect on that boy name. Dean. Not just professor. Dean. Yeah, that's right. I used to change his diaper. Now he's educating your children. I would call him up sometimes while I was on the road, and he'd be in his dorm room with Google Maps. And he'd be like mission control, telling me,
goodness.
all right, man, about 22 miles, you're gonna see a dirt road on your right, turn there. And he would help me like that sometimes. But that's when the TomTom showed up.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And then the Garmin, and then, and initially they were expensive, but then you could put in POI, points of interest, and you could look up restaurants, and you could look up hotels, and you could look up gyms. Back in the day, finding a gym was word of mouth because guys knew what gyms were in what towns, or if you're in a different town, you got to kind of ask around, look for a gym. And then, came the digital age where now you can look it up. And it's crazy even that, because I remember when I bought my first Garmin Nuvi and how much easier it made travel. And being able to find a place to eat, find a hotel. And from then, it didn't take long before those were played out. Now your car comes standard with GPS in it.
Right.
And all those points of your phone has it now, like you don't need it anymore. And now, the technology has advanced to the point where you can compare gyms and you can compare rates and reviews and anywhere in the world. So that's changed just because the access to information that comes with modern technology.